Good morning, student. So we are going to learn that math magic, one of your chapter, that math magic. Math magic. So here, this chapter number 2. So here we have to find that SGP1. SGP1 is, so here once upon a time there lived a young man in a Arab land one day sitting on a sand hill. He was counting the flocks of birds flying in the sky. He counted the birds and wrote their numbers on sand. So what is it in paragraph 1? So then a young man belongs to Arab country, Arabian country. So that what is he? What was he doing? He was counting flock of birds. So here flock of FLOCK, a flock of means that is group of. So here it is collective noun. It is collective noun. Flock of, and also we can find likewise herd of goat, flock of birds. So like troops of monkey, likewise these are some of the collective noun. So here, so he was counting the flocks of birds flying in the sky. He counted the birds and wrote their numbers on sand. So his activity was he counted the number of birds and wrote on the sand. So a man riding camel was passing by that way. He was surprised to see the boy counting the flying birds correctly. How can he count the number of birds flying in large groups? He thought. He got down, went near the boy and asked how he could do it. The young man said, I worked as a shepherd boy with a rich man. I learned how to count the sheep every day. Then you will get a good job. Come with me, said the man. So here a man, so while he was counting the birds and wrote on the sand, a man was riding a camel and passing by the way, and he saw and he was surprised. So he was surprised. Why he was surprised? Because the young man correctly counted the birds and wrote it. So he could not know how he did this one. So he asked him, how could you learn that you could count the birds in accurate one? So he told that he was working as a shepherd boy with a rich man. Shepherd. So here what is the meaning of shepherd? Is Shepherd. Shepherd means a person who watches or takes care of group of takes care of sheep. So here, so Mesopalago in Oriya we can bring Mesopalago, that a person who watches or takes care of sheep. So next one, then you will get a good job. He promised the person who was was going on camel. He promised that he must have a good job. So he also called him to come with him. So in SGP2. So here we will go to the SGP2. So that is the man took him on his camel. He promised him a job with the king. On their way, they saw 3 persons quarreling, and there were 35 camels standing by. So their quarrel was on how to divide the camels among them. Their father had died, but he had a will before his death. According to his will, the eldest son would get half of the camel, the second son 1/3, and the youngest son 1/9. But they had 35 camels to divide among themselves. This was difficult. As for the father's will, the eldest brother will get 17.5 camels, the second little less than 12 camels, and the youngest son a little less than 4 camels. So this is impossible. So they were quarreling how they could divide the camels. So how many camels are there? 35 camels. So they saw, who saw? The young man and the man on the camel who were riding by. They saw the three men were quarreling. So then what is this? How many camels are there? 35. So they could not divide it. According to this, their father's will. Their father's will. Will means what is that? Will means wish. So here, wish. Before death, he had a wish that these camels should be divided among these three sons. So what? The eldest one gets 17 half. So here half 35 into half, that we can find 17 half. So this is impossible in the case of camels to divide 17 half. Then the second, that is one part. The second son, 1/3. So 35 and 1/3, that is means 12, less than 12. And the youngest son, little less than 4. So this is a very impossible to divide the camels among the three men. So that is difficult. So what should they do? So we can find. So the young man, the young man was very perfect in his math knowledge, the young man. So the young man, what did he do? So the young man, after listening to them, said it is very easy. Saying this, he added the camel. He added the camel they were riding. So the herd of 35. Now the total number of the camels became 36. The eldest son, who was to get 17.5, got 18. He was happy. The second son got 12 camels. He was to get less than 12. He was also happy. The youngest son, who was to get less than 4 camels, got 4 round. He was happy too. But the happiest man was the young madman. By solving their problem, he himself got a camel. The three brothers had 35 camels, but they got 34. All the brothers gained the 1 camel each. The young madman gained 1, though he had no camel of his own. Think how this is the magic of knowing mathematics. And the two Arabs moved on to the king's palace for seeking a job. So here we find, so the young man, you know that previously they have 35 camels. So the young man add 1 camel, and it turns into 36. So you have to find that what was his father's will, that half of the eldest one get half. So 36 into half, how? That is 18. So that is previously, how can 17 half? It is impossible but now it is 18. So again, 1/3 of this camel, that means 36 into 1/3, it is 12 camels. Here another one, the third son, the youngest son, what is that? 1/3. So here, so we have to 1/9, that is, 1/9. So 36 into 1/9, that is 4. Together, if we combine this, we find 34. Previously they have 35, they actually got 34, but each one get more. And who is the very pleasantest or happiest person? The young mathematician, because he had no camel, but he got a camel for his own. So here, so the young man gained 1, he had no camel of his own. So this is the magic of knowing mathematics. So here, very interesting. And the two Arabs moved on to the king's court for seeking job. That is the finishing. We finish the chapter. That means you should do some of the homework here. HCB 1, activity 1, HCB 2, activity also 2. That activity 3, 1 to 3 you should do. So that is okay. Goodbye.